Major food shortages are coming. Now today we're going to talk about the attack on our food system and on the small farm, but also we're going to talk about the fact that our groceries are still at consequential heights. We're still paying more for our groceries than ever before. Now they said that it will keep on going up. Now the thing is this, people say, oh, we have a new president and it's going to change, and hopefully it will. Hopefully between the FDA with RFK and changing some things, and also making sure that we're opening more avenues and less regulation, and we're hoping to get the tariff situation taken care of. I honestly believe prices will stagnate, at least stop inflating it like they're doing. But until that point, they're going to keep going up. Today we're going to talk about some things that you should be purchasing today from Walmart or from whatever store that best fits you. Things that we should be buying because of the problems that we're seeing across the world. Let's dive into these things today and make sure you pick these up even before the year end. Let's dive in. Hey guys, welcome to the Max. Thank you so very much for being here today. If you are new to the channel, get on here, press subscribe, ring the bell. Give us a thumbs up or thumbs down, that's okay, but let us know what you think about the content of today's video. Now the purpose of today's video, it's kind of one of our old prepping videos, but the whole purpose is to bring awareness to some of the news that is coming up and why we should make sure that we're buying some things that could be in shortage in the next coming weeks. Yes, we have a new president. Yes, we're excited about that, but please make sure you understand that it takes time to make changes, even implementing on day one. First of all, you still have about 50 days before we're able to put him in as president. But not only that, even day one, if he makes big changes, it will take time. The government is a behemoth, and it's just like a ship. When you have to turn it around, it's going to take some time. So let's talk about some of the things that you should be purchasing and why. Now, there's been a war on farms. Raw milk, as you know, we drink raw milk. We make our raw butter. We believe in things from farm. Now, the war on the farm is causing the shortages in the store. Now, I want you to buy the best quality that you can. So I would still challenge you to buy from local farms, local markets, and from places that have good holistic practices. If you go to the grocery store, make sure you're buying holistically. And there is a difference. You can look at the back ingredients, and if you can't understand them or read them, or there's more preservatives in it than is food, you stay away from it. But the war on a few things. Let's talk first of all. Meat. Now, beef has been a problem for a long time. Two reasons. The global push is to get away from beef. Now, we know that. We've heard that. Bill Gates and BlackRock are funding things like Bovaer, which is in the meat, which is basically helping them not have manure that is potent to the environment. That is all false. Remember, manure from cattle and ruminant animals is what gives our earth regenerative practices, and it cleans our earth up. I know it's crazy for you to believe that, but we need ruminants on our grounds, and we need them dropping things out there back in to make the earth grow grass better, soil better, compost better. It's truth. Look it up. It's what we've been doing for thousands of years. Why all of a sudden these billionaires and elite think that they can change that? I don't know, but I digress. So we see the Bovaer push, which is adding medicine, adding chemicals to cattle feeds. What does that do? That taints your meat. So that's a problem. Chickens, H5N1's been in the news more and more. Peter Hotez came out and said that we're going to see an influx in it. You see doctors, especially doctors on the left, are saying the same things. Now, is it true or not? It doesn't matter. The regulatory body behind it and the states behind it are going to start going after things. Look at how they're going after milk. They're shutting down raw milk farms. They're shutting down small operations to say, well, we need to test your milk. So you're starting to see more testing of cattle. What does that mean? Well, the more regulation, the more problems for the farmer, the more it takes to get to market, makes the price go up, and also causes a shortage because they have dumped a ton of milk and gotten rid of a lot of dairy farms lately. Look it up, it's unbelievable. Now let's talk about the H5N1 and avian flu and the chickens. Well, guess what? That's hurt the egg population. Well, it's hurt the chicken population. Well, one thing that's easy to buy but hard to find good quality is chicken. You can pick up chicken just about any store. The difference is, are you picking up quality? Now they'll play on words that they're not putting anything in this bird, and there's no injections in the bird, and this bird doesn't have any kind of things in it. Well, they don't tell you about the food that they're putting in it. Does have that in there. So be careful and conscientious of buying that. But remember, because they're having a war on these farms, it's making your chicken prices and egg prices go up. Remember, chicken and eggs used to be, we're talking years ago, used to be the cheapest and most economic food known to man. It was one of those things that almost like peasant food. But then we saw that it was commodity, we saw that it was good, we saw that people could do things with it, and therefore we built it as a big business, and therefore now the price is high for chicken. So there's a lot of the problem. Now what does that do? That influx of just beef and chicken fighting causes problems at the supermarket. Why? Well, you think about what all is eggs and milk in. So not only the byproducts are going to be expensive, what about the fact that the dairy and the chicken itself, the beef and the chicken, is going up? So here's my list of things that you should be purchasing today from Walmart because it's smart. Number one, of course, is beef. Start buying your beef and learning how to can it or put it up. Now, I would challenge you to buy from a local farm that grows food organically and holistically. No chemicals, nothing. But if you can't, go to your local grocery store. There is one tiny little section called grass-fed or organic or non-GMO. It's very tiny. Sadly, you have commercial CAFOs farms raising all this meat and charging you arm and a leg for it that's got all the stuff in it like Bovaer, it's got all the stuff in it like all the antibiotics and dewormers. That stuff is not good for you. So look in that little section and start buying some meat and putting it up because they said the price will keep going up. Now, as a farmer, I paid top dollar for my cattle, I would say, 10 years ago. When I bought those cows, they were a registered group. And to be honest with you, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm paying this for cattle. Okay, now, fast forward to today. Those cows have brought in a lot of babies and a lot of steers, a lot of beef, a lot of extra cows to my farm. Here's the thing though. The cows that I bought then that were considered expensive, they're double, triple, and even quadruple for the commercial grade, non-registered version of what that is. Why? Because the inflation is now hitting the farm. Well, when meat is costing that kind of amount for the farmer, that means you as the grocer, the person buying it, the consumer, the one buying the stuff from the grocery, is going to go up. So if you can't buy from a local farmer, you can't raise your own, your meat's going to keep on going up in price. Remember, today's cattle pricing will affect a year or 2 years later because that steer that's coming off that mama or that heifer that's coming off that mama has to grow up, and it takes time. Raising beef is a long process. So the cost of that cow now is actually going to be felt really for the next 2 years, no matter who's president, because of the cost of the farm. So number one is beef. Number two is dairy, milk. You can freeze milk, especially if you buy it raw or organic, or you buy the best quality. We freeze ours all the time because we get it from our cows and we have surplus. So then what do? We freeze dry it, and then we freeze it just in case we need it. The thing about dairy and the thing about milk, think of all the things milk makes. It makes cheese. It makes butter. It goes in every cake, biscuit, bread, anything that you can imagine. If you're making something, a lot of it's going to have some kind of dairy product in it. So if that dairy product costs more and it costs more and it costs more and it's in shortage because they're now shutting down the farms because they want to test all these cows, and then the regulatory body costs more on the farm to get it to market, your milk just went up. Your butter just went up. All that just went up. So pick up milk. Now here's a few ways you pick it up. You pick it up in milk form, and make sure you're not buying the cheapest quality milk that lasts a month. That's not true milk. Our milk is raw dairy and it's the highest quality. In about 6 days, 7 days, it starts tasting a little bit more like the farm instead of like good wholesome milk. So make sure you're buying the best quality milk, and especially if you can buy it organic. There are places like Walmart that have organic milk. It's not the best quality compared to just right off the farm, but it's still better. Learn to drink it, of course, but then learn how to do something else with it. Have you thought about freezing it? Have you thought about making things like biscuits, breads, and other goods, soups, anything like that, and learning how to can or learning how to freeze those things that you're making? You're building, you're meal planning, and you're taking the milk at a cheaper price now to build that, freeze it, and have it for later. It's a good idea. So make sure you're picking up milk. Number three, of course, would be that butter. Butter, just like milk, you can freeze. We freeze it all the time. Not only do we freeze our milk that when we're having our dairy cows producing a lot of cream, We're also, when we have to buy butter, you can buy grass-fed organic butter and you can freeze it. You can buy it from Walmart, Costco, Sam's, wherever you want to buy it from, and you can freeze it. It's a good thing to do because butter, they said, will go up at least another 10 to 20% in the coming 6 months. Now, that's a lot. You're not getting a 10 to 20% raise, and if you are, that's an awesome job. Keep it. But if not, you better start buying it now and making sure you're putting it up. Number 4, protein. Now, I'm a big proponent of whey protein. Now, remember, Bovaer, all that's coming into account. The fact of the cost of the grass-fed whey, the whey, which is off a byproduct of milk. That means protein is going to go up. Protein is a big part of our diets, especially mine, someone who I run 3 miles to 4 miles every day, and I work out also every day. So protein is a big part of my life. Any man needs to be eating at least 1 gram of protein per body weight. Now I know they're like, oh, that's too much. No, it's not, because this is making you more satiated, you're more fuller, you're getting a better quality diet. So make sure you're picking up powder protein. Now, don't pick up some trash protein. Don't pick up some artificially flavored protein. Buy a good quality grass-fed protein. You can pick these up at Walmart. Again, you can pick these up at Sam's, Costco. You can even go to GNC. I don't care. You can buy it online. But buy a good quality. Usually you want to see it saying grass-fed full whey. You want to make sure it is from a cow, not a plant protein. Come on, people. Let's buy a good quality whey protein. Something that's great for your shelf. It lasts a long time. Do not miss out on buying it at a more economic price. Me, one of my favorite meals is doing something like a yogurt mixed with some protein. So I'm getting a protein-packed yogurt, a good holistic yogurt. Either we make or we buy good quality, and we mix protein with it, and we have got a 20, 30, 40 grammed breakfast or snack for 200 or 300 calories, and it's not only good for your diet, it's good for you, and it helps you be the best you can be. It's good for our muscles. Make sure you are buying a good quality protein because it's going to go up in price. Number 5, now this is going to the chicken. Eggs. Eggs are going to keep on going up in price. Now, I'm not telling you to buy just eggs. I want to take you to the next level. When you buy eggs, not only do you buy them for cheap at the store or buy them from the farm, if they keep going up in price or they keep making it where you're going to see the big problem like you saw in 2020 where you're paying like double and triple for eggs. Eggs are one of the easiest things to preserve. You can freeze dry them. You can dehydrate them in a dehydrator that you can buy at Walmart for 30, 40 bucks. You can also freeze them. We freeze our eggs. We'll make, I'll tell you what we do. So I love taking a muffin tin and putting eggs in them, mixing some peppers, cheese, and some salt, pepper, whatever you like in there, and either some kind of protein, sausage, ham, whatever it may be, is your meat. Put it in there, cook it in the oven, and you've got little muffins, little egg muffins. We freeze those all the time. It's good meal prep for us, especially for me on the farm, me going to work, and of course my son loves that he does carnivore with me a lot. So a great meal. You can freeze eggs that way. Also, you can water glass eggs. If you're buying them from a farm, make sure they're not cleaned eggs, meaning they're not been washed off. Make sure they look good. They still have their bloom on them, what you call the bloom. And you can water glass them. Misty has a video on water glassing. It's a way to put up your eggs. And a raw egg, you can put up a raw egg on the shelf, non-refrigerated, for over 2 years, and it's still good. We do it, we believe in it, and we have tons of them inside our prepper's pantry. Number 6, the chicken. Buy chicken. Now, we're growing our own chicken. We grow a lot of Cornish cross here or some other kind of forms of chicken. Chicken is expensive. I had to buy chicken the other day because we were doing an event and we were not using our chicken, and it was not for us. So we were cooking for this family, and it was like $5 to $7 a pound. Now, that doesn't seem a lot when you talk about beef being, way more than that, especially for like a steak. But when you think about paying that kind of money for good quality chicken and it's going higher, so say you're paying $8 or $9 a pound or $10 or $11 a pound, remember, chicken was supposed to be the poor man's food. That was what it was called for years. It was a low-income food. It allowed people to not have to buy beef or buy some kind of high-end quality food and still get good protein, still be lean, and still be enjoyable. Well, because of the problems they're having with H5N1, even though it may not be a problem, it's the speculation of it that causes the testing, that causes the shortages, that causes the expense on it. Your chicken's going to go up. Think about it. Think how much beef costs you at the store. If you buy a steak or you buy anything, you're paying $15 to $18 a pound. Now, you don't think of it like that because you're buying a smaller portion of it. Okay, say about a roast. Even ground beef is expensive. Just think if chicken gets higher than those. Chicken, again, used to be the most economic way to buy meat. Well, it's not anymore. So make sure you're buying chicken. Now, here's what you need to learn how to do. Here's what we do. With our chicken, because we raise so many, what we'll do is we will put some in like crock pots. We'll butcher, have whole birds like rotisseries. You can buy organic rotisserie. It's the cheapest way to buy them at a store. Put it in a crock pot, simmer it down, and make it where it cooks it all the way. You can put onion, salt, garlic, celery, I don't care, whatever you want to put in there. So not only are you using, you have a lot of meal here. You have not only the chicken that you break off the bone and then you learn how to can it. Learn how to can your chicken. Come on, it's the best way to put up your chicken. A game changer for keeping it off grid and keeping it safe and keeping it lasting longer. Canned chicken, I'm no joke, it is phenomenal. And you can make anything and everything with it because it's already cooked, and it's already tenderized, and it's already put into a can. Learn how to can. If you hadn't canned, New Year's resolution, learn how to can. So not only do you have that, you have the broth. The broth is off the bones and off the chicken. So not only can you cook with the broth, and you've saved money by not having to buy bouillon or chicken broth, you also have the health benefits of having a bone or chicken broth. Great for you. We can this as well. And then of course we have our bones left. You can take and you can either make them brittle and make like a bone meal out of them, or you can give them to your animals, whatever you're wanting to do. But you've used that chicken all the ways known possible. If you buy it already filleted and already cut up for you, then you're paying more for it. So don't do that. Buy the whole rotisseries. Learn how to cut up a chicken. It's not hard. And learn how to utilize every part of that bird. That way you're getting more value out of what you're paying for. Chicken is going up crazily. And guess what? Being that most of the bigger buyers, the bigger four buyers of chicken, they're starting to buy more of their competition. So it's going to make it where it's going to be more monopolized. Hopefully we'll see deregulation. Hopefully we'll see RFK do good with this kind of stuff. But to be honest with you, we're in a dangerous spot when it comes to our food. And for small farmers, because they're just getting lapped up by the big guys. So you better start buying this stuff before it goes up in price, because the more that the big guys buy it, the more the cost is going to go up because they own the monopoly on it, and the more it's going to cost you. Learn how to can chicken. We have canned chicken from 2 to 3 years ago. Why is that important? Because even when we raised them 2 or 3 years ago, they were not $5 and $7 a pound. They may have been $1, $2, $3 a pound. So I've saved a tremendous amount of money over that amount of pounds that I was able to put up. So think about how much you would save if you learn to buy it now and learn not to have to buy it a year from now if it keeps on going up. Is a good quality fat. Now, this is one thing that we have messed up on in America. Everything on back of packaging, if you go in any store, has either safflower oil, canola oil, vegetable oil, peanut oil, some kind of crappy oil in it, grapeseed oil. All those oils are byproducts of petroleum. They're terrible for you and terrible for your health. Buy good quality fat. Now we again render our own lard off our own hogs. However, buy good quality lard. Buy good quality duck fat. Buy avocado oil, coconut oil. You can even buy olive oil. Buy some of the oils that are more natural to our bodies and things that are good, healthy fats. Fats are going up in price, and we don't realize how important good fat is to us. So when we think about things like, duck fat, when we think about things like lard, when we think about, like for us, we cook in lard, everything. Now, if you look at my family, none of my family is considered overweight. All of us are pretty healthy, and we eat in pure, full fat diets, meaning we use, if we're cooking anything, fries, hamburgers, or we're cooking anything that we have to quote unquote fry or pan saute, we're using either our raw butter, which is full fat, or we're using lard, which is full fat. The difference is it has no preservatives. It doesn't have hydrogenation. It's not hydrogenated oil. It's not some kind of bad quality saturated garbage. It's good quality fat. Full fat. That's what we need in our diet. And if we get good quality, then you don't have to worry about gaining weight. You don't have to worry about, don't get me wrong, you need to eat modestly and eat in moderation, but you don't have to worry about it as much because you're making your food from quality. Full fats and real fats. Now go to Walmart. Go price canola oil, vegetable oil, all those trash oils. They're going to be cheaper than your quality fats. You know why? because those are subsidized and those are trash and those are byproducts of something they're already using. Have you really looked at what Crisco is? It would gross you out. Go on the back of all those and look at all the things they add to it. You know what's in my fat? You know what's in my lard? Lard. I mean, there's nothing else in it. If you can't buy a product that has, if you're buying something that has more than 4 or 5 ingredients, you should not be buying it. You should be making it yourself or buying the raw products and start building it yourself. Not only are you going to save money at the grocery, you're also going to get a better quality diet. Now, number 9 and 10 have nothing to do with food, but they have to do with things that you need to pick up because of some of the tariff wars that may be going on and some of the negotiations that will go with that. Now, we have a lot of tumultuous things going on in the world. Well, one thing that RFK has said is he wants to make sure that our medicines are made here in America. Quit buying it from overseas. Well, I fully agree with that. But that means there's going to be a lot of transitional situations that's going to happen, which could cause shortages for medicine. So pick up some good quality over-the-counter meds and also pick up some antibiotics. Now, buy antibiotics from companies. You can buy them from anywhere. I like Jace Medical. There's a link below. It saves you some money. But you don't have to buy from Jace. There's Duration. There's Wellness. There's all kinds of companies. The reason I push it, though, is because it's already hard enough to go stand in a pharmaceutical line. When I go to Walmart or see Walgreens, I pass Walgreens or I pass a local pharmacist and there's cars everywhere. It stresses me out thinking about that because so many people are dependent on pharmacies. And I'm not saying that's a bad or good thing. I'm just saying if you can purchase it like a Jace Case or a Jace Daily and get some antibiotics sent to you directly, it may cost you some money, but it may be worth your effort and time to keep some emergency preparedness medicine because it's going to go up and it's going to cost more. Now, some of the things that have been real bad listed, if you know what I mean, when it starts with the I, that's a medicine that we believe in, especially if it's talked about during 2020, they sell that too. I'd have a lot of that put up and they can get it for you at a good price. Make sure you're buying some over-the-counter meds, but also some antibiotics. Do not miss out on the opportunity. Now, you can't buy antibiotics from Walmart unless you have a pharmacist that's doing it, but you can buy it from online. So buy the over-the-counter meds, good quality from Walmart, especially herbal remedy style, and also pick up some emergency medicines. Now, lastly, number 10. This just has to do with me and what I believe. We're fixing to start a year, tumultuous year. I mean, Syria just fell. We have major problems all in the Middle East. We still have Russia-Ukraine situations taking place. We have a great president hopefully coming in, but he's got an uphill battle to fight. One thing that was encouraging is I saw a report that said that 22%, that Bible sales are up 22%, meaning people are trying to get more into Word and trying to figure out what's the purpose of life. Well, today is Sunday, so first of all, I hope that you're taking your family to church. But number 10, buy a Bible, buy Scripture. You need to figure out for your life what's important. And what's important is we don't take it for granted. We understand the grace and mercy that God gives us. And that is through His Son, Jesus. And we can find that in the Bible. Now, Proverbs, Psalms, things like that, when you read that, it helps you throughout your days of this craziness that we live in. Like, man, when I look at the news, it stresses me out. It gives me anxiety. A lot of times you'll say the same thing, oh, I don't want to hear your news because it's depressing. Well, it doesn't change the fact that that's what the news is. So what I would do is encourage you. I don't know if the price of Bibles is going up, but it's a good purchase. No matter what time of the year, it's a good purchase. Christmas is coming up, and not only that, the first of the year is coming up. Buy a Bible for yourself or for someone who you believe it can impact. And let's not worry about just getting on the next fad diet. Let's not worry about just running or going to the gym for January. Let's try to spiritually prepare. I try to do it every day and I fail still. So therefore, I try to get better each and every day. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this list. Our goal is to make sure that you're getting the best information possible, and these things you need to pick up. From whey protein to milks to chickens to all that stuff. It deals with really 2 animals that make everything else go up. All because of regulatory bodies and what government is doing. Inflation price is just because we keep spending more money than we have in America. So unless we start fixing some of this, and I hope that Trump and RFK and his group will do that, but it will take time. Do not allow these prices to go up before purchasing. And none of these things are very expensive right now if you have to just start budgeting and saying, you know, I want to buy 1 or 2 of these extra a week. Start doing it. Guys, thank you for watching. God bless.